Hi, I'm Rappler Entertainment reporter Isa Abad.
And hi, I'm Steph Ronaldo, Rappler reporter and today's co-host with Isa.
And welcome to Stand By Me, Rappler's talk show on all things fandom.
So for today, we have Rob Rubin. He is the Philippine Tarot Authority and he will be talking about growing the Filipino tarot community with us today.
Hello,
Welcome.
Honored to be here, ladies. Thanks for having me.
So, and first off, can you introduce yourself? How long have you been doing tarot? What were you doing prior to doing tarot?
Okay, let's set the record straight first. It's pronounced tarot.
Yeah, we wanted to ask.
A lot of people call it tarot. No, it's tarot. Okay. I've been reading the tarot since I was 14 years old. I'm 41, so do the math there. So I think somewhere around 27 years. It's not necessarily my first love, but due to my passions about everything supernatural and everything connected to it, it found its way into my life when I was 14. And because of the tarot, a lot of beautiful things came into my life. I met my then wife. I had a family. I've helped a lot of people grow, and I've helped a lot of people experience the beauties of the tarot and help demystify it. You know, it's not like this scary sideshow that you see in the circus. It's something that can actually give you clarity and empowerment. That's why I take it really seriously.
Oh, so was that your first work, or like did you do like corporate jobs?
Yeah, I did the circus, in other words, the coding all that stuff. But I realized that wasn't my passion. That's what I would call crap work, or since he said we can curse, shit work. In other words, I'm not doing this for free. I realized that after hours, I would go meet clients for tarot readings, or I'd give tarot lectures, workshops, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to show people that they had gifts beyond their regular perception. So basically, that's what we've been working on in Mysterium Philippines for the past, 12 years now.
Okay. Could you explain what Mysterium Philippines is, your own company?
Yeah, Mysterium Philippines is the largest intuitive community in the Philippines. Okay, basically we aim and our focus is to offer a safe space to develop and celebrate intuitive potential. So anyone who would want to either learn about intuitive topics like tarot and intuitive development, or want to experience the service, can come to Mysterium because we offer it in a very safe, professional environment. So it's a good starting point for people who want to know more about this path.
Could you explain intuitive, like for those that don't know what
Very
that
good
really
question.
means? Yeah.
Very good question. Basically, your intuitive self is the deepest, most truest self part of yourself within you. It's kind of like your inner voice. And because of the need to survive, many of us have been trained to ignore our inner voice. Diba? They'll tell you, oh, you're being impractical, think security, settle down. But the truth is, the intuitive self is the realest version of ourselves. And because of that, we also have gifts that come with it. Some people become empathic because of their intuitive gifts. Some people can become they can even develop the gift of telepathy. Or sometimes they have other more fascinating gifts that come with it, like healing. Some people are good at healing. All of these are part of the intuitive gifts, and tarot reading is but one of them. Learning to read the tarot is a very intuitive skill that anyone can learn. You don't need to have a third eye. Anyone can learn how to read the tarot with the proper dedication and commitment.
Speaking of like learning how to read tarot, how did you start reading tarot? Especially like at the age of 14. I don't think like not all teens are really like into it.
That's a very good question. And this is a story that I've shared several times. I used to live in the San Francisco Bay Area. And thankfully, in that area, there were a lot of New Age occult bookstores. So one day, I was visiting one of the bookstores called the Psychic Eye, and they had this kind of changi of sorts. A bunch of different people were reading palms, talking, consulting. And when you're 14, for people who don't know, and you're living in the States, you're in the no man's land because you can't work, but you don't have any money. You can only start working at 16. So I went in there and I saw this man. He was tall, he had white hair. And I said, "Sir, are those the tarot cards?" And he looked at me and said, "Don't you mean tarot?" Okay, yeah, tarot. Yes, the tarot cards. He said, "Yeah, are those the tarot cards?" And he looked at me and he said, "Well, yes. Why do you ask?" And I said, "Well, could you teach me how to do that?" Because when you're 14, you'll ask because you don't have anything. He gave me a funny look. He reached under the table and he handed me a deck. And I said, "Yeah, thanks, but I don't have any money." He said, "Oh, no, it's yours." So it's like, wow, oh my God, okay, now what do I do? Then he said, "That's your journey. Excuse me, I need to read for someone now." So I crept out of that shop.
Serious.
Because you never know, the shop might have charged me for it. You know, he gave it to me, and I walked out of the place. It was a very ugly deck, actually. I remember it very clearly. But that's what started everything. When I moved to the Philippines a little less than a year later, that's the only thing I brought with me. I literally drilled it, practiced it, slept with it, meditated on it, just to understand what these cards mean. When I would start, I just read from the booklet. Oh, you have this card. The booklet said it means that. But as you start reading it more and more, you develop your own personalized approach to it. And then you develop a relationship with the energy of these cards. And you realize that there was something even more than just cards, that there's like a consciousness behind it. And that's why I treat it with such respect. Because by giving people a positive tarot experience and showing people the beauties of the tarot, I have been blessed by it. I've had so many new beautiful people come into my life, like my ex-wife at the time, my children. All of these things were because of the tarot. So it's very important to me that people treat it with respect. Don't treat it just because you want to make money or you want to look good on TikTok and get 200 million fans.
Yeah.
I've been advocating lately that there are two kinds of tarot readers. The readers who read to make themselves look good, and the readers who read to make the tarot look good. I align with the latter. It's really about making the practice look beautiful.
Okay, so like throughout your journey, what are some hurdles you had to encounter, like challenges, getting to know tarot for the past 20 plus years?
Well, at the beginning, a lot of people think you're cuckoo. A lot of people say you're
Yeah.
crazy, that's fake, that's this and that. But I don't think that helping people get guidance and clarity is fake. And then sometimes people will say, ha, your reading was wrong. Okay. Even financial analysts make mistakes. Even doctors and lawyers make mistakes. How come I can't? There's no such thing as a 100% accurate forecast or consultation.
And you don't claim to be.
No, I'm not some sort of uber mystic that I can see the future before it's happening, because if that's the case, I would have bought Bitcoin a long time ago. Diba? So the thing I offer in my readings is guidance, clarity, and empowerment. At the end of the day, if you feel more empowered, if you feel guided, and if you feel like you have peace of mind, I did my job. It's not my job to choose for you or to tell you how to live your life or to give you bad news. I want to give everybody what we call in Mysterium a PTE, a positive tarot experience.
So, for full disclosure, between the two of us, I'm not really the one who's like familiar with tarot. So, for those who are like in the same position as I am, can you give us like a brief introduction? Like, how would you introduce tarot reading for those who are not really interested or like have like negative misconceptions in the practice?
Whenever I give a reading, I give the same spiel, believe it or not. I introduce myself and I tell them that I give them the parameters. But the most important thing that I tell all of my clients is no reading is ever set in stone. Ever. Any reader who tells you that this is set in stone, you cannot avoid it, is most likely trying to swindle you. Okay? Kasi example, if I told Steph, you know what, next month you're gonna go to Boracay and you're gonna get pregnant.
Oh my God.
There's nothing you can do about it. It's set in stone. Guess who's never gonna go to Boracay again? You know what I mean?
I don't want to, like, it's fear-based.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So any kind of reader who tries to, push that and force that upon you is already giving you a negative experience. That's number one. Number two, this is guidance. This is guidance. This is not condemnation. I tell people where they've been, where they are, because we can't change that, huh? We can't change where we've been, and we can't change where we are. The only thing we can change is where we could be going. Then we look at trajectory. Basically, based on how you've been living your life. What's most likely to happen, unless if you make no changes to your life at all. But the beauty of the reading is you can see the what ifs. Like, oh, so if I date this person, I'll be super rich, and if I don't, I'll be poor. I better call him up. So it shows to you your options. But at the end of the day, it's like your Waze app. Waze will show you where the traffic is,
Still up to
but
you.
it's up to you if you're going to take those roads or not.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Would you say it's closely linked to spirituality, just a different form?
There is definitely a spirituality to it. I wouldn't though say it's something idolatrous. Like, I don't worship the cards. I don't pray to the cards. But I give it a certain level of reverence, just like you would give respect to the entity that is Rappler. I mean, this is your job. This is your community. So if somebody's like graffitiing the walls of Rappler, you'd be like, hey, that I'm part of that. It's important to me. Please show respect. But I don't think you pray to the logo. Diba? It's not a form of worship. It's a form of respect to the collective energies behind the tarot.
So, based on your experience, what were like the common questions that your clients often ask, or was like any memorable incident with your client?
There have been many. Like I like to tell people, actually, and I wish her all the best. My previous spouse was actually my tarot client before we got married.
Oh.
Yeah,
How did
and that was interesting because in my case with her, she came. We were still just client and reader relationship, and she asked me one day, "Tell me who I'm going to end up marrying." And then when the cards came out, I was like, "Oh, I like this guy. When you meet him, introduce him to me. He's my kind of guy." I didn't know like a week later we would end up
that
dating.
wasn't naman the
No, I
moves?
was making luto. It's kind of like,
Ah,
and you could tell because when we dated, I was still kind of like, holy crap, was that me? So I was just being totally honest. But the thing about it is, that's one very memorable reading. But the most common thing people will always ask would be career and love life. I mean, like on my show every Thursday night on my fan page, Tarot Thursdays, the number one questions I always get, career, love life. Tell me about my career. Tell me about my love life. And I gladly answer it for them.
Okay.
Is that what we're gonna ask today?
Most likely you will.
I mean, why not?
Can stuff do it first?
I mean, it depends like right now, but I guess it's more for me sa tarot. It was something I just got into in the pandemic. So it was a time where, mental health was at a low. I was going to therapy as well. But then I also started gravitating towards my friend who does Reiki. Do you do Reiki?
Yeah, it's a wonderful practice.
Yes, and then Reiki, tarot cards. And when you're at your lowest, you're like, I'll do whatever. So I had crystals na, like I was forming my little collection. I had Reiki done. And I just started crying. Like it unlocked. I can't explain it. I'm sure you
Yeah,
understand.
it was something beautiful. Definitely.
Yes, like I felt very connected to something bigger than me, and it resonated a lot of the things saying. So I do believe in the power of tarot also in helping you unearth things that you've suppressed. So it comes to light, and that's like when inner work is possible. So I
Definitely.
think mental health and tarot have the potential to work together.
Yeah, they should actually work in unison, but
Yeah.
not against one another.
Yes, yeah.
When people come to me and they're asking me like psychological, psychiatric input, I tell them I am not a doctor. Okay, and I'll also tell the viewers, any reader, unless they have the word doctor, medical doctor before them, do not ask them for medical advice. Like, Rob, I'm having a headache. Should I go to the doctor? No, I will not do that. You go get a checkup. I am not a doctor because that's criminally liable.
Yeah.
At the same time, too, it would be nice if science would be a little bit open-minded to it because these are psycho-spiritual beliefs of the people. If the people believe in it, it's important to them.
Yes.
So no matter what we try and do, there's a market, there's a segment of society that adheres to these things, and it's actually ingrained in indigenous culture of the Philippines, even before the pre-Spanish era. So the minute we can accept it and learn to work together is the minute progress will happen.
Yeah. Okay. So
So,
do we want to do the
yeah.
How would you like to demonstrate?
Well, you guys can ask me a question, anything you'd like. The only rules would always be no dates of death and no lottery numbers. So who wants to be my first victim?
You, since you're a newbie.
Okay.
I don't know. Will this be like the field that I will stay forever? Like,
Fulfilling
will I be
work?
staying in this kind of like media work for a long.
Okay, now remember what I told you. Nothing is set in stone.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Now, before I answer the questions, I have to ask you, do you want me to be nice or do you want me to be honest?
Be honest.
Okay, be honest. So you're going to ask, your question is, will you be in this field for the majority of your life?
Yeah.
Is that it? All right, good question. The card we have is the Seven of Cups reversed, meaning do not overextend yourself. You might be doing too many things at one time that, you're like an octopus on roller skates. You're not going in any particular direction at once. So consolidate.
It's resonating.
Consolidate in this aspect. Now, another card I'll draw is this. Remember, if you're going to be sticking here, it never was and never will be about the money. But, okay? Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you do it for free. Okay? So put those two things together. So even if you love it, you still got bills to pay, girl. So you're not doing this to make millions, but you have debts and bills that you need to pay. So be practical.
I believe this would be my last episode.
Oh no, you started the movement. But like, I guess it was you're acting this way.
Like the usual, it's like the year end.
Could you explain what those cards meant?
Okay, you had the Seven of Cups reversed.
Yes.
Now, what that means is that the Seven of Cups would mean you're doing everything at one time and you're not focusing on anything, so nothing's getting done. But since it's upside down, it's also easy to get how do I say, overwhelmed by everything in your immediate surroundings. Like even if you're doing your passion, like you say you wanted to learn tarot, you're doing Reiki, you're doing tarot, you're doing meditation, you're doing yoga. So like nothing is still getting done, even if you're consolidated in what you want to do. So it's very important to be clear, what aspect do you want to do in this? What brings you joy? And of course, the other one was, don't sell out, because there will be opportunities. The Three of Coins means go for your ideal. If you wanted to make millions, you probably would be in the corporate world.
But what makes
corporate
you happy?
Next question.
How about you, sweetheart?
If there's no specific question, is it possible to get a general reading of like how my life, like if I'm on like my own healing journey, like am I on the right path?
You want to ask about your healing journey? Is that
Like I've had a lot of problems with, I guess not really relationships, love, because I think I'm okay, but more of like having to family.
okay?
Toxic.
So you want to talk about emotional healing? Right?
Yes.
That's a very big rabbit hole. Again, do you want me to be nice or do you want me to be honest?
Honest.
Okay, so we'll draw 2 cards for that. The card you have first is the King of Cups. You are holding back your emotions way too much. You are a human. You are not a robot. Okay, but here's the thing: there's more than one kind of emotion.
Yeah.
Maybe you're only too polarized towards one. Like maybe you're always angry. But there are other emotions that you're allowed to feel. Because this card shows to me that you're keeping it together, but the question is for how much longer? You take such good care of other people, but who takes care of you?
As a mother.
Okay, that's number 1. Now, number 2, here's another card for you. Okay, stop giving it 2 fucks what people think. Okay? Time for you to be free. Sorry for the F-bomb, but I said I could use it for context. If you're going to let people's opinions of you dictate your life, you're never going to be the unleashed version of you that you can be. So if you want to heal, you got to stop giving a damn.
So meaning prioritize myself.
Exactly.
That's what we've been telling her for
Yeah.
so long. We are
Convinced, joke.
I'm doing it. There's your proof from the tarot reader.
But thank you so much because like
later.
we're gonna post process off camera, but it just goes to show. It hits a nerve, I suppose. Yeah.
And I don't know.
You don't know anything about us.
Exactly. So I like to tell this to people when I get something accurately. I tell them, it's one of 2 things. It's either I'm that damn good of a reader, or I work for the CIA. Either way, you've got problems. It's like, oh, really? You've got a fat pile on you from Langley. So, no, but the truth is, the accuracy is just the messages you need to hear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can change your fate at any time in life.
I have a question also regarding that. Some people do say, oh, tarot is just, they give you a general thing. So that's why it's accurate because it can apply to almost everyone. So what do you say about that?
I'm going to take a line from the movie The Matrix. If you've seen The Matrix, and if you haven't, please come out of your rock. When he went to the Oracle for the first time, she actually lied to him. She told Neo, you're not the one. And in the end, when he was the one, he said, why did you lie? And she said, I told you just what you needed to hear.
Yeah.
In other words, you'll get the message you need. Now, I have no idea how you put that into context, but that was the message you got. And for some weird reason, it resonated with both of you. It wasn't like, oh my God, that is absolutely wrong. Hell no. You know what I mean? It was like, how did this guy know this? You know what I mean? So you get the message, you do with it what you want. Now, I'm not here for a popularity contest. It's like, oh no, that's just general, that's just cold reading, whatever. If you want to think that way, go ahead. But
it's really for you.
the test in the pudding is in its tasting, and I think the 2 of you are satisfied in one more. So,
Yeah, so
yeah, are you alive? You kind of like
shake it. So for those services, how can I nag-schedule? What?
Nag-book na.
Well, like those are like just like quick readings, but like for those who are interested to do like longer ones, what can they expect?
Well, okay. When I read for people, I give them a forecast. I show them where they've been, where they are, and where they could be going. At the same time, at the end, I let them ask 5 questions, whichever they'd like. So I tell them use it very carefully. But here's the thing. I allow the question and answers in the end. And this is one thing, if you're in the market for tarot readings, you should watch out for. A professional tarot reader will not interrogate you before the reading. Like, oh, so are you in a relationship? How long have you been together?
that's
Do you have
okay,
kids?
yeah.
Because I can build off of that.
Oh yeah.
If I knew anything, if I knew nothing, and it comes out, you're going to look at me like, how the hell did you know that? So when people start talking to me at the beginning of a formal private session, I tell them, please, excuse me, don't say anything. Because I don't want to be influenced by anything you want to share. So be on the lookout for that. Like if a reader is asking you a lot about yourself even before the reading,
Beware.
that's a red flag.
Okay. Okay, so I guess it's based on observation. Tarot and Reiki, it's been getting more traction, becoming more mainstream
Yes.
nowadays, right? I'm
TikTok.
sure you've seen that.
Yeah. TikTok, okay.
You can explain why the reaction first.
Okay. One thing I'll tell you that works for those of you who want to be better professionals, personalize and be your readings and be authentic. Like, okay, I'm gonna get stoned for this, but I'm gonna be totally honest. You don't need to say anymore. The universe brought you here today. Take what resonates and leaves. Oh my effing G. That's so played out. You could say, hey, fool, welcome to my fucking channel. You don't like this shit, go to the other guy, but this one's for you. You know what I mean? The authenticity is going to make you seem more acceptable. And here's the thing, people who are already aligned to the market, they can pick up if you're being fake or not.
Yeah.
They will really say, wait, something was wrong. I don't like that. Okay, I don't like the energy I'm feeling. Versus if, yeah, he was big, loud, and ugly, but he was real. So authenticity sells. That's for professionals. So at the end of the day, the whole TikTok thing, unfortunately, it's a lot of people just trying to cash grab. Because before the pandemic, there was only a certain number of readers. Then when pandemic hit, boom! Everybody and their mothers and their barangay captains were tarot readers on Instagram with logos and everything. But the thing is, some of these people weren't trained or skilled enough, so these were half-assed people. So people were getting a bunch of negative tarot experiences, or what we call NTEs. Where like, one, they don't have the personality or they're too introverted. So they're like, okay, I'm gonna read your tarot for you today with the card you have. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Are you sure you know what you're doing? You have to understand, if you're a tarot reader, your job is to give the person guidance.
Yeah.
And if you yourself don't know where you're going,
Yeah.
right? I mean, then what right do you have to be doing this? Work on yourself first.
Yeah.
But also for those who are beginning as tarot readers, allow yourself, again, pardon for saying this, allow yourself to fuck up. Because eventually you will drop the bomb so horribly that like, oh my fucking God, I look so stupid with what I just said. It happens to everyone because there will always be that one person that just doesn't resonate with you, that does not like your energy, and they will not work with you. And if you could learn to live through that, you have what it takes to be a tarot reader.
Okay.
I don't have what it is.
Okay, so you have trained many tarot readers, and you have trained enough to actually hold the very first tarot convention, right? So this is an upcoming exhibition or
Yes,
convention.
convention.
Could you tell us details about that and who's attending, what people can expect?
Yes, it's being held October 28th
Yeah.
at the Oakwood Joy Nostalgia Ballroom in Ortigas. And we have one international tarot authority, the one I look up to the most, Marcos Katz. He's the founder of the Tarosophy Tarot Association Global, whose battle cry is restoring the spiritual dignity of the tarot. He's coming here to pretty much help launch this event for the Filipino community. We also have 6 very talented speakers talking about topics like Reiki in tarot, essential oils in tarot, sound healing in tarot. So if you attend the event, you will, and if you get tickets, you will get access to all of the talks. You will also get access to the booths. There are a bunch of amazing booths and vendors that are going to be there. And you'll also get to see other tarot readers. I think every single booth will be offering readings. There will also be a lot of promo sales for those of you who want to purchase readings on sale or lessons on sale or anything like that. All these things are going to be available. So these are some things to look forward to if you're going to be attending the TarotCon. It's the first in Philippine history.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, since it's the first in the Philippine history, how can you describe like the reception of the Filipino readers when it comes to tarot community?
it's been amazingly positive that like the tickets sold out.
Wow.
The first 2 rounds of tickets sold out. So we're still trying to figure out, the organizers still trying to figure out if we're going to have enough to do walk-in rates.
Or day 2?
Oh, well, no, we can't do a date. Everybody's going to be pretty smoked after day 1. And maybe next year, if God allow, we will have another one.
Bigger.
But for the first time, we didn't want it to be too big, like
Yeah.
an SMX or something.
Right.
We wanted something intimate. We wanted people to feel connected, to work with one another. And the goal is really to just showcase the beauty of the tarot in so many different aspects in this event. To show people that the tarot is here to stay. And it exists in all facets of life. And it's something beautiful. It's something meant to serve.
Yeah. Were there any... How was planning such a big event like?
You know, To be honest with you, without the team that I've been working with, it would never have been possible. It's not a endeavor that one person can do. This is something that needs more than one person's energy, and I know where my strengths are, and I know where my weaknesses are, and luckily that the team I'm working with on this have compensated on my weaknesses, because everybody has weaknesses and strengths. So I brought my A game and they brought theirs. So I'm very thankful for my team. Also, I am very grateful for all the sponsors and all the booth vendors that have shown their support to this first time event. But most importantly, to the Mysterium community, the people who have volunteered to support it as staff to help the event work out. It's been nothing less than amazing.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're down to our last two questions. So, given your experience, how do you think the local tarot community can improve overall? And what would you want to advise to those who are like planning to get into tarot?
Okay, perfect question, and I'll give you a perfect answer. If you make it about yourself, you will never last as a tarot reader. But if you make it about serving the person that you're reading for, you will last for the rest of your life. If you're doing readings just for the unholy trinity, me, myself, and I, you're not going to last. The energy of the tarot will spit you out. But if you are doing readings to just bring fulfillment, love, support to people, then you will be rewarded beyond your wildest dreams by the collective energy of the tarot. So don't make it about you. Make it about helping other people.
And how about for those on the other side, the Filipino clients, I guess, those who are on the fence, those who want to delve deeper into the art, or
Well, if you're not a connoisseur of being a reader, it will always start by being read, diba?
Yes.
So get a reading from somebody reputable, somebody that you know has a good track record, who again, like I said, who puts the client before themselves. And if you really are too scared to shell out money, you can tune into my show on my Facebook fan page, RobRubinReadings, Thursday nights, Tarot Thursdays. And if you're polite and if you're a first timer, I'll draw a card for you. You can ask me a question.
Like live
Yeah,
chat?
Like
no,
this
not
one.
chat. I'm like on camera.
or they just comment.
Yeah, it was like, Sir Rob, hi, can I ask my boyfriend, is he coming back? Thank you very much. And I'll draw for you. But first timers are free. But if you're a freeloader, like, hey man, you've been here for 3 weeks now. If you want more questions, you have to send stars. But first timers are usually free.
Okay, great.
So yeah, aside from the upcoming convention, are there any events or projects that you would like to promote?
Yes, actually, right after TarotCon, we're going to be opening our next run of the Intro to the Tarot Certification Program at Mysterium Philippines. End of November, it is a 6-week-long hybrid program, which means that you can take it either in person at the Mysterium Center in QC or from the comfort of your home via distance learning. So it's 6 weeks long. You'll be trained by me and your own team of mentors, trained mentors, to be part of the tarot community if this is the direction you want to go in your life. Or if you want to have a reading, visit my webpage, www.RobRubinReadings.com, and I have a wide variety of different readings I offer there.
And other services also.
Yeah, services as well, aside from readings.
Okay, right. So,
Yeah.
I
That
think
sounds interesting. I feel like I'm going.
Yeah, you look very...
you open the
I have so many
door.
questions. Yeah, that's it for today's episode of Stand By Me. If you have any topics that you would like us to discuss or any fandom that you would want us to feature, please hit us up on Rappler's social media accounts. I'm Isa Abad.
And I'm Steph Arnaldo.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.